Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this launch of the blockchain technology for sorghum for small-scale farmers, which is being hosted by Zambian Breweries and BanQu. My name is Francesca Phiri, and I'll be one of your directors for today's program.
And the name is Wenson Mavor, and of course, I'm co-hosting with the beautiful Francesca Phiri here.
So today's program, it's the Sustainability Through Technology 2022 conference. Farmers play a very important role in our lives. All of us here do benefit from them. So this is why AB InBev, through its local subsidiary, Zambian Breweries PLC, and its partners, BanQu, are rolling out the blockchain technology to sorghum scale farmers. Previously, the partners had done the same with cassava smallholder farmers in August 2018. So today's program will see us hear from Zambian Breweries how they are working with these farmers and how they would like to have that sustainability through technology. Without further ado, I would like now to call upon traditional dancers coming in from BareFeet just to give us some entertainment. So just one of the things that we're expecting to have on the programs, in case you don't have a copy of the program on the table, we will be having a video coming in from BanQu and Zambian Breweries just to sort of highlight how the two institutions are working hand in hand with these farmers and how technology is very important, for such projects. This is why we're also expecting to have somebody, a representative. He's already here, actually, the director of communication and digital technology from the Ministry of Technology and Science, just to come and see, governments buy into all this, because government is a huge stakeholder when it comes to such things. So it is very important that we hear its commitment as well as some of the strides that have been made to make this possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now get to see the performance from the BareFeet traditional group.
as the minister comes in. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand, thank you. May we all be please upstanding as we welcome the Minister of Small, Medium and Enterprises Development, Honorable Elias Mubanga, MP. Thank you very much. While we are upstanding, we'll now have the Zambian National Anthem. And right after that, we're going to have an opening prayer so we can start our program officially.
Shall we pray? Omniscient deity, Father of mercy, peace, grace, and love, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather here and deliberate on important issues of national development that, Father, aim for nothing but to better the lives of Zambians and the world at large. We ask that even as we start the proceedings of this meeting, for this noble cause, may your spirit of peace prevail and unity amongst us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. You may all be seated.
I don't know why you told people to sit quickly, I was expecting an offering right here,
Okay, Pastor Mabora, I think we'll be able to do that when you do your closing prayer.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So the Honorable Minister, Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Honorable Elias Mubanga, Member of Parliament, the Director Communication and Digital Technology from the Ministry of Technology and Science, Mr. Milna Makuni, senior government officials present, officials from the Central Bank, AB InBev Zambia, Zambian Breweries PLC Country Director, captains of the industry, project partners, Zika, MTN, Ministry of Agriculture, colleagues from the media. In short, may I say all protocol observed. I'd like to welcome you all to the Sustainability Through Technology 2022 conference. And to kickstart the program, I'd like to call upon Michelle Kilpin, who is the Zambian Breweries Country Director. Please let's give her a hand.
Mulishani. Good afternoon. I'd like to wish you all a very, very warm welcome here today to our guest of honor, the Honorable Minister, Small and Medium Enterprises, Honorable Elias Mubanga, to the Honorable Minister of Technology and Science, Honorable Felix Mutati, represented today by Mr. Milner Mukuni, to our dam president, Ashu Sagar, officials of the Central Bank of Zambia, to the BanQu Managing Director, Mr. Ashish, captains of industry, our project partners who are with us today, MTN, Musika, the Ministry of Agriculture, our colleagues from the media, to all my super thunderous colleagues here today from Zambian Breweries. I'd like to hope that I have observed all protocols. So, guests of honor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start by expressing our gratitude to our special guest. I'm going to move away from the speaker. Maybe. Yep, there we go. All right. If I stand out here, is that better? Okay. So I'd like to start by expressing our gratitude to our special guest of honor for finding time to grace this event and this important occasion, which will be launching the BanQu blockchain technology for our sorghum small-scale farmers. Thank you, Honorable Elias Mubanga and Honorable Felix Mutati, represented here today from the Ministry of Technology and Science. Your attendance is a testament of government's resolve to supporting the private sector growth. To you, our various partners here today, we say well done and thank you for your attendance and support. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Zambian Breweries PLC, a proud member of AB InBev, is committed to supporting the socio-economic development of this country. One way in which we are doing this is through our Smart Agriculture program, where we have across the country 3 outgrower schemes that cover barley, cassava, and sorghum and positively impact thousands of farmers. As part of our 2025 sustainability goals, Zambian Breweries PLC strives to attain 100% of direct farmers to be skilled, connected, and financially empowered. BanQu blockchain technology is one of the tools we are using to rely on and connect and bring about financial inclusion of our small-scale farmers. I'm aware that most of the small micro enterprises, such as the rural-based smallholder farmers, are excluded from the financial market. Through the blockchain technology that we are using of BanQu, we are now bringing about, we are now bringing about dignity through identity, transaction traceability, promoting a cashless society, safeguarding the health and security of our people, and driving financial inclusion for vulnerable yet viable communities. Thank you. Okay. I'm delighted to see this real social economic transformation and positive impact on livelihoods, because only when our communities thrive can we thrive as an organization. A few months ago, I visited the Luapula province, Manza and Kawambwa districts, and I was able to see how agriculture is a real game changer in those regions. I was able to meet many of our small-scale farmers and see the impact that this program makes on the ground. How, for example, I met Mama Ida, who is able to send her children to school and her eldest son to university through growing and selling cassava through this platform. Agriculture supported by value addition and local sourcing has a greater impact on the economy, and given the strong backward and forward linkages. Combining this with technology such as BanQu blockchain will not only financially empower the smallholder farmers, but also accelerate the pace of socio-economic transformation. As AB InBev and Zambian Breweries PLC, we stand ready to continue to look for areas to grow our value chain and digitize and monetize our ecosystem. We dream to create a future with more cheers, with more technology and shared prosperity. So guests of honor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to say thank you very much to the government for your continued support. To our project partners, may we continue to collaborate and partner for the mutual benefit and positively impact communities in which we serve. Today's launch of the BanQu blockchain technology for the sorghum small-scale farmers is a clear indication of our combined commitment to change lives. So as we dream to create a future with more cheers, I'll say cheers to a future with more technology, cheers to a future with more collaboration and more partnership. And I'd like to also remind you all to please always drink responsibly. Zikomo.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And indeed, we will drink responsibly after the function, I believe. I just saw Mr. Ezekiel looking down. Ladies and gentlemen, two things that are very pertinent, which Michelle mentioned, which are worth recapitulation: value addition, financial inclusion. Two pillars that are critical to building social economic development that does not only benefit the elite, but benefits each and every citizen of Zambia. So we commend Zambian breweries for paying particular attention to blockchain technology, and of course, being on the journey unreservedly and relentlessly to promote and just venture into sustainable development through technology. We will now get to the next segment of the program, where we get to hear from Ashish Gadnis, who is the Chief Executive Officer from BanQu. A big hand for Ashish, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, and as he walks up to the podium, let me just remind you that there are also some people who are watching or who have connected this conference via Zoom. I would like to also officially welcome them to this 2022 Blockchain Technology Conference. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. First of all, massive gratitude to Honorable Minister, directors, all the dignitaries. I'm super blessed to be here. Thank you for the time and the government of Zambia. I'm hoping I'm not breaking any protocols. If I am, my apologies. So my name is Ashish, and I'm with BanQu. And last night, while we were driving back to the hotel, and you can check with my team, and I said, there's one country, if I were to be my last day on earth, it would be Zambia. And it's true. And it's just, thank you. And here's why, because 4.5 years ago, when I first came to Zambia, I landed in Mansa, thanks to Chris Nicole, Naamba, Ezekiel, and Zambia Breweries. And it changed my life. I might tear up a little bit, but I want to be just honest here with you guys. And I met some of the most amazing humans I've ever met in my life. We work in 28 countries in Africa, but Zambia by far beats everybody. And I'm not saying this for any other reason, not because of BanQu, it's because of your mama farmers. They're absolutely brilliant, right? So if you've never been to Mansa or Luapula, I would strongly recommend, especially if you're Zambian, is please go and spend some time with your mama farmers, father farmers too. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to get into a fight here, but I think here's why, right? Because what we do is really just highlight who they are, right? So just make sure we're on the same page. And what is blockchain, right? And it's kind of an important piece if you're wondering why blockchain is important to your mama farmers. It's when a mother farmer sells her sorghum or cassava, to a cooperative, and then the cooperative sells it to an aggregator, and then it comes to Zambia Breweries. In most parts of the world, that mother farmer cannot prove who she is. She cannot prove that she exists. And you in Zambia have changed that for the last 4.5 years for 10,000 farmers. You should really feel good about yourselves about that, right? Because that is the power of blockchain, because all blockchain does, and I'm sure the Ministry of Technology is going to have a conversation with me later, but what blockchain does is that it gives that mama farmer the ability to say, I am a Zambia Breweries farmer, right? Because in simple definition of blockchain is that through SMS, that mother can prove that she has grown sorghum or cassava. And that SMS message also through MTN allows her to get mobile money. And this part is critical, right? If you're really trying to empower farmers, then they have to be bankable. They have to be able to say they have supply chain power. And that is what we've done with the support of Zambia Breweries, right? Michelle said it perfectly, which is skilled, financially empowered, and connected is not buzzwords, right? What they are is that your farmers are the heartbeat of your economy. Your waste pickers are heartbeat of your economy. If you go to Chunga, I was there 6 weeks ago. Anybody gone to Chunga? Right? If you've gone to Chunga, yes, right, Honorable Director, there's a landfill. And the mothers who work there for 8, 10, 15 hours, who pick up your waste today can also do the same through BanQu, because they can say, I'm a legitimate waste picker, right? So what's important in this conversation to remember is that if you have amazing farmers like Zambia Breweries is empowering, you have amazing waste pickers that Manja Pamosi, which is part of Zambia Breweries, is empowering, then the value of blockchain is that those two farmers or those two waste pickers can prove who they are, right? Everything else doesn't matter. So I just want to kind of, thank you Zambia Breweries, thank you the ministers. And I one couple of quick things. When we started 4.5 years ago, the local government was amazing there, right? We worked with the local government and they were there every step of the way. Musika was there every step of the way. And fast forward today, $27 million worth of transactions in the last 12 months. Local, here, right? This is a clap for the farmers that are your sorghum farmers, that are your cassava farmers, that are your waste pickers, right? And I think that is, if the last thing I would say, Zambia is far ahead of any country in Africa, in my humble opinion. I was on Tuesday, I was with the Maasai farmers that are just starting barley in Tanzania on BanQu. You're 4.5 years ahead of any country in Africa when it comes to farmers who are truly digitally connected, waste pickers who are truly digitally connected. So don't stop.
Thank you so much, Anish. Thank you. So there's this saying that says, if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go further or do more, go together. And I think this is what Zambian Breweries is doing with BanQu. They have been collaborating and enhancing technology in the agriculture sector. Just now, we'll now show you a short video of how BanQu and Zambian Breweries partnered to enhance technology in the agriculture sector in Zambia.
My new best friends, my name is Ashish and welcome to this BanQu intro. So what is BanQu? BanQu serves as a blockchain as a service, supply chain traceability, transparency, records management software platform that facilitates connections between people, organizations, assets using proprietary blockchain technology.
I think we're done, right? I think we're done?
Just kidding. Okay, all of what I said is true. BanQu is a platform that uses blockchain technology to help connect people, assets, and organizations. Our mission when we started BanQu was to change the world forever. Not with an annual release of a fancy gadget, not with the buy one, give one free model. With BanQu in your organization, you'll become an early adopter of a technology that'll catapult entire industries into unprecedented success. You'll have the tools that'll give you a level of transparency, within your supply chains and workflows that will grant you unlimited visibility. Our blockchain solution provides a powerful shield against inefficiencies, all while directly contributing to the systematic eradication of extreme poverty, empowering millions to form financial identities and take control of their future. BanQu gives you this power. So let's get started.
Nachipimisha ya masaka ndo shefi na isapokea ka message akakufuma kuli ba BanQu ka na asaro shangeria indara mashandisha injira anyapo penefe pona chila pimisha takwachi wana kucherwa iyo na akitemwa sana njevere kanshishi ndara mana aratumina kono mwana we skulu pakwe bati ayebwa mu kusukulu
ndetotera kuli ba BanQu bali system baletere yakushitira tute pa phone pantwire njafuirisha ukumona tute yonshitirepo nempia ishifumine
yali amasaka 11 efo yali ilo nashitishe tute yandi nalisapukelele mpia iyo napukelele mpia msharefo achimfuni iyo na checking na mu message nasangili achimpia shandi kashita shingile musimu nabo mfeshi basa ntumine mpia shandi muli simu yali blocked efuto atumine phone baisa londolola chawe yabwe mpia shalingira kale paka palisa pa 4 days achawe mpia ntashire ingira efe ba mwene pa computer basa bachawa bali mpia shabo shalingira kuli ishi nani elish na toke isimu yali ba blocked banga fuili ati kati tena unblock mu town efo naile ku town kwa MTN banchi tena unblock cheshi huko nasanga nempia shandi emwe shali banje belati ulepembe after 3 days nombe mpia shandi shaingire the same day nafunya nofunya mu town na isana okwesana na kuno so if mpia shandi shali fo kushibomfya shaikelefye mu phone
kuli balukanga ba cooperative no bubulimi bwatutepo bwamine akalero twaleshitisha tutezo kwale balimbi for 3 days tawapoke ndalama nomba this time ichakweba ati kulina security mulandi wa miperere ya ndalama okupitira muri through na ba BanQu bantu akaleta kwale ba security yakweba ati ndalama filafine 3 days ngaba kupera letse ndalama tashali kwata security mulandi wakweba ati baishibo ko bati napoke ndalama uli omulimi bala kuchita ataki munshira
sizonya abafama balashita tute amataba eyo tukwata kofena ko kwata ko business pia kwa mu bafama abengiye besa mushita withdraw kwano kusha deposit ama teachers nangwa bonsa bomba ma shops tebeng sana but kuli bafama iko tukwatira business ikalamu kitabushku bafama lesa pano 10 5 15 mushite mpiesha kumesha kusana bambia ama 200 5,000 10,000.
As Zambian Breweries, we have been buying cassava from our farmers around Lopla and Northern Province since 2016. From 2016 to 2017, we paid them cash. The challenges were that we were not able to trace these farmers, and the other challenge is on the safety of the farmers and the agent in terms of cash basis.
Gentlemen, let us now get to hear from another interesting and important stakeholder in this process. You saw that most of those farmers have USD phones that require a particular network.
for those transactions to be complete, for those transactions to actually take place. So at this particular juncture, we will get to hear from Mr. Eugene Phiri, who is coming from MTN, and he is the mobile money manager. Let's appreciate Mr. Phiri.
Thank you so much and good afternoon. Unfortunately, I didn't prepare a speech, largely because I believe in what's going on. It's something that I live off every day. I'm passionate about it. I love it. So I'm going to speak based on my experiences with what we've been doing with Zambian Breweries and other like partners. In beginning, I would like to firstly recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister for Small and Medium Enterprises, the senior government officials present this afternoon, Zambian Breweries and BanQu members of staff present, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hosting us and recognizing MTN Mobile Money as a partner in this very, very important quest. Unfortunately, my managing director couldn't be here today, Mr. Komba Maluktila, because he's doing exactly what I am doing here at the ICT conference that is being held at Pamozi Hotel right now. But since I want to take over his position, I might as well start now. So I think close to 5 years ago, when we were approached by BanQu and Zambian Breweries, for us, it wasn't so much a story of profit. It was business quite all right, but the first thing that we looked at is what is the government agenda? What do we want to do as a business and where do we go? So we started with first looking at the bigger picture, which in our case was financial inclusion. So I just have one small slide here. Oh, sorry, we can't see what's there. But at the center of what we are doing is the small scale farmer or the smallholder farmer as it were. And so what we've tried to do, or what we are trying to do, is we are now at an advanced stage of digitizing the agriculture sector. Whether we like it or not, the smallholder farmer that is coming on board today is obviously going to be tech savvy in the next 3-4 years from now. So that also gives them an opportunity to say they are going to be financially included. Our vision is obviously to make people's lives easy, to enable their lives. And so when we came up with the relationship with Zambian Breweries, it was a no-brainer. The first thing that we saw is, what is it that Zambian Breweries is trying to achieve? They're trying to get money for the commodities that they are buying in the fastest, efficient, and most secure way. So with the BanQu technology plugged into the MTN mobile money platform, created what we just saw earlier on, where the farmers are able to withdraw and get their money right on time. So for us, we are saying, maybe to Zambian Breweries, it is business to say, okay, we've empowered the farmer, they've gotten their money today. But for us, we are saying, thank you, Zambian Breweries, for this initiative, but we are looking at this beyond measure. So believe it or not, Zambian Breweries, based on the statistics, obviously for you, once you've made the payments, there's very little that you can do in terms of following up what those people actually do once they open up their mobile money accounts. What you have done and what you continue to do with the partnership in MTN is that you actually open up the smallholder farmer to a world of endless possibilities. Just with that simple, what seemingly looks like a simple payment on your part. So once they receive their payment, for us, they've gotten into a zone where now the whole world has opened up for them. So we are looking at insurance, finance, we are looking at savings and investments through that money that you pay them. There's a lot that they do with that money. And for us, this is enabling people's lives. And recently, with the money that you pay the farmer, they are now able to buy shares on the stock market using MTN mobile money. That lady that you were showing a while ago is able to buy shares on the Lusaka Stock Exchange in Zambian Breweries PLC, ShopRite, and so on and so forth, just by virtue of being on MTN mobile money. That for us is enabling people's lives. Now, through our journey, there's a lot that we have experienced. There's a lot that we have seen. And we are hoping that if we work together with government, there's a lot that we are going to achieve. It hasn't been an easy journey. It has had its own issues, and we've learned along the way. Some of the issues that we've learned and experienced include an issue of technology. So while we are investing, I think starting next year, about $100 million in the rollout and to make sure that we reach the rural farmer, we are also happy to note that I think Mr. Milner may share this with us. I got a tip to say actually the Minister of Technology is also rolling out some sites and towers in rural Zambia. So it's definitely going to be sustainable because the government on one side is rolling out to make sure that there's connectivity. As the private players are also doing our part, and you, the commodity buyers, in this case, Zambian breweries are doing a lot. So technology in terms of network and rollout has been a challenge, but thank God you are able to get it through a simple ultra low cost handset. Then in addition to that, one other big and important thing is education and awareness. I think this is something that is critical that we need to look at. The smallholder farmer that we saw there now has money. They've got access to all these things that you can access through MTN mobile money. Perhaps the thing that we need to focus on and then work together is to say how well and coordinated and how best can we work together to make sure that not only do they have access, but they also know how to use these things sustainably. So at MTN, we are open. Our story is simple and basic. We put the farmer in, at the center of our activities. Money comes in through mobile money, money goes out through mobile money. And we are very, very proud that we've been in this relationship with Zambian Breweries. We only pray that we can grow from here and that the relationship can grow bigger and better. Thank you so much.
Eugene, for that very elaborate presentation. I just wanted us to do a little sort of exercise. Maybe you can just prove how Momo works. Send some money to my account just now. I'll give you my phone number so that people can believe that it actually works. I'm just pulling your leg. All right, so very, very key. And I must say that even the system that MTN is using, especially for our farmers who are in the rural parts of the country, is quite friendly and very user-friendly, and they've been able to manage to get by. Like Winston said, they're using USSD phones, meaning they don't have USSD phones that don't have internet. So they're still able to use that using the MTN network, and MTN has really come through for our farmers. Moving on with the program, up next, we do have the Zambia Association of Manufacturers President, who I'd like to call upon to come and give his remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. As usual, I'm not one who has written speeches, but works off notes. Honorable Minister, firstly, I must recognize you're here, along with the representative of Honorable Minister Mutati, and generally showing that government is in support of ventures like this. Let me put this in perspective, maybe from a person sitting on the wings. What do you actually observe when you come to an event like this and you see what you're being told? The first question you ask yourself is, what is the end game? The end game, from my perspective, is something very special that Zambia Breweries has taken the journey on. And that is, while you progress and while you invest, you take people with you. And this, Honorable Minister, I think you must commend this company, who is a member of Zambia Association of Manufacturers, in taking a very bold and public step in showing that you take the people of Zambia with you in when and how you develop. Ashish, I must commend you on blockchain. I'm actually very passionate about blockchain. Funnily enough, on another side, it's something that I've invested very well in, and I understand what blockchain can do for any country or any ecosystem. It's all about taking smart steps in innovation and technology that not only uplifts your business, but uplifts lives, as I've said. When we have looked, when you see Mama Farmer that you've spoken about, and you link it to SME development, you know you're doing something right. You know you are changing a life as you are changing your company. And I would ask everyone to recognize these steps by Zambian Breweries, our member of the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, by please applauding them for this job well done. The key word sometimes we miss is transformation. Transformation is something that only comes with new ideas, new perspectives on how we're going to change the business environment. And 4.5 years ago, when you probably journeyed or took this journey, nobody would have realized that you would have impacted the kind of lives you have. You would have impacted the business supply chain, and you have impacted a new way of doing business. So we must realize the spin-offs when it comes to financial inclusion. It is not a small statement you have made. It's actually a very big step in changing the business environment and the way people operate and the way they live. I will only say this in my closing remarks, that you have done something that maybe was even a few years ahead of what we should be doing now. Ashish, you said Tanzania is 4.5 years behind. This is something I think we must take hats off to ourselves, maybe as a country, to have accepted change and shown others that we will lead the way. Honorable Minister, I hope that you as government and as the lobbying organization for Zambian Breweries will take heed of these kind of developments and find ways of encouraging that they continue to invest in these kind of technologies, continue to invest in our economy, as AB InBev Zambia Breweries has done recently with the $80 million expansion project, which we are very proud of to speak about even today. We as ZAM would like to continue to encourage you that these kind of investments will happen and continue to happen with the environment that you have created. And we look forward to carrying on with this kind of partnership where new technology, new avenues will be accepted in our economy. I thank you very much, and I congratulate you again, ZP Michelle. You and your company have done wonders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sagar, for those remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, mechanization and digitalization of the agriculture sector can never be underemphasized. And the Honorable Minister can agree with me, who interacts with the President on a daily basis in their cabinet meetings and other meetings, that even the President, as a strong proponent of the agriculture sector, places premium on the idea of mechanization and digitalization of this key sector. Zambia has the potential to become the bread and basket of the region. But how can we get to that state? Not until technology becomes familiar among our farmers and also mechanization becomes a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now get to another segment of our program this afternoon, and we will get to hear from Mr. Milna Makuni, who is the director from the Ministry of Technology and Science. He is the Director for Communications and Digital Technology. He is here in the stead of the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Brilliant Haabenzu from the Ministry of Technology and Science. Can we appreciate Mr. Makuni as he comes to address us?
Good afternoon once again. Thank you very much for the speeches that have been made already. That makes it very easy to ride on the protocols that have already been established. And reading on behalf of the Minister of on the Honorable Felix Mtati, Minister of Technology and Science, who delegated to the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Haabenzu, and delegated to my level, Director, so that I can read on behalf of the Minister. And sometimes I've challenged to read where the Minister is emphasizing that he did this. And there's one paragraph I think that I'll need to show and see that it's on my own words. So the Honorable Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Honorable Elias, the President Zambia Association Manufacturing and senior government officials present, including Minister of Agriculture, officials from the Central Bank of Zambia, and senior executives from the private and public sector. The event sponsors, Zambian Breweries, a very, very short but precise statement that was given to all of us. And then also BanQu, the money director. I really was excited about digital technologies, especially blockchain. So I was thinking in my mind, the connection with artificial intelligence and how much we can put at the center of our discussion, the technology is supporting the consumer or the citizen up there. Because of course, like mentioned by the president from Zambia Association of Manufacturing, it's the transformation that we're looking at, and not necessarily the digital part as a driver. The digital part is an enabler, of course, as we shall see in the statement from the ministry. I'd like also to acknowledge colleagues from the media and all protocols observed. Kindly allow me to acknowledge the presence of each one of you physically present, or those that have joined and are participating online. I think this is the beauty of technology. We may look a very targeted group here, but the extension is bigger than what we have here. And very important, when the Honorable Minister came to sit beside me, he was asking whether we have the small scale farmers here. And I said we could see them in the technology now as they were being presented to be part of this very exciting celebration that we are having. So this is a moment of celebration and great milestone, not only for technology, agriculture, but also on the small and medium enterprise sector. It represents the great potential the technologies plays in enabling the social and economic development across sectors. I like the word potential, but I think we've overused this word. Like for instance, in the digital space where we have this digital transformation, we are saying, yes, we've talked about our potential, but now we unmask the potential and we are seeing exponential growth. And we're asking ourselves whether exponential growth is enough. Maybe we need disruptive leapfrogging to areas where it can be meaningful and impactful to those that are not on the supply side, but those that are on the demand side, those that are consuming our services when we apply technology appropriately. So I think that from the government perspective, ladies and gentlemen, government has really identified agriculture as one of the key pillars for economic transformation and job creation. And this is very important because when we talk about agriculture, you look at the 8th National Development Plan, it's very clear we have manufacturing as one of the pillars. And I was talking to the president there and say, sir, I think we are more of a consumption. And he says, wait a minute. I think there's much more that is being done. We're not only focusing just be a consuming nation, we are now producing things. And it's time we need to show not the potential, but exploiting the potential so that the impact of what you're doing can be seen locally. I like the Buy Zambia campaign team. They've been saying let's consume our own products that we're doing. After we've consumed ours, we can see that even those that are in the region, even the African sphere, those that are talking about Africa trade, they can actually see the high quality products and services that we can produce locally. It's not all about just buying Zambian products because they're Zambian, but because they meet the minimum requirements and are of high quality. And this is demonstrated with what we are seeing today. So we say as government that we'll provide full support to the development of this sector from the small scale farmer, even more importantly to the remote areas of the country. And this is very serious because devolution of functions to the local authorities, the decentralization of ensuring that visibility is not seen only in urban areas, if visibility is not only seen in a line of rail, we are saying now development should actually be at what level? It should involve even those areas that are undersaved and unsaved. And therefore, apart from the, on the 8th National Development Plan, I said agriculture, we have the manufacturing, we have tourism, we have mining, and we know the enabling, one of them is why I'm standing here on behalf of the Minister of Technology and Science, is the technology as an enabler. The Honorable Minister is aware that Zambian farmers work very hard throughout the year to produce and harvest their crops. And if you are a farmer, then you certainly know that farming is not an easy task, but is a rewarding one. You may not get the short-term rewards, but it's a long-term investment that one can undertake. It's the role of the government to ensure that we create an enabling environment for our farmers to thrive. And at every stage, from seed to the market shelf. So the enabling environment cannot be created by government alone. We are saying, let's join hands, the civil society, the private sector, so that we sit down the table so that we can make that enabled. You've seen with the PPD, what we are trying to do, to work together to make the environment real conducive, reduce the cost of doing business, and not make barriers to entry, and ensure that we incubate those that are small to get onto growth patterns, so that those that were small can also be called commercial at some point. It's my acknowledgement, it must be acknowledged that the government does not operate in a vacuum, but works with the private sector. I've mentioned civil society, as demonstrated today. This occasion highlights the brilliant initiative, which is about digital technology through brain technology code that has been brought about by BanQu. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it properly, but we are so appreciating from your humble regard of what you are doing. And I think we need to do much more so that it's, I think we're not very visible. Some countries are able to package what they are doing. I visited some 2 countries recently and went there to learn what they are doing because they are on top of what they're doing. Little did I know that they were saying actually they want to learn from us. Maybe we are not visible enough. Maybe we are not packaging the information enough. Maybe we need to work as one whole coordinated effort so that what we are doing will not be measured only on intervention of government, but even the private sector. Together we can do it, and we can do it much more than when we look onto government alone. So this occasion, I mentioned that it highlights, and we should utilize, I've seen sorghum small scale farmers, where my colleague from Ministry of Agriculture, one of the key things we're looking at in the FISIP was diversification. We had even put in the technology to ensure that as people are collecting their FISIP inputs, it's not predominantly just the maize. We thought we could put other legumes and other value-added crops so that as people are farming, we can be able to measure and understand what exactly is being farmed. And then we can measure to say diversification is not only in statements, in speeches, but diversification can have empirical evidence of what exactly we are doing? Are the interventions effective? Is what we are doing the same thing we should be doing? So data comes in, and that's the power of technology, because we shall be making informed decisions, and the interventions we are doing can be measured, can be monitored, and policies can be seen whether they are effective or not. And then, ladies and gentlemen, under the Smart Agriculture Scheme, Zambia Breweries, we've been informed that it has utilized this technology to map production, carry out research into crop varieties, and connect farmers all through their supply value chain in order to provide traceability. I heard the word identity, and it was excellent for us because as government, our identity is still manual. And we've started this journey. I don't know whether Dr. Sophie is still around. Okay, from Bank of Zambia. Okay, he was our technical lead on the integrated national registration information system. We need to do more because identity is very key to provide not only for security identity, but to be used as a service and provide improvement on the EKYC, electronic know your customer, which provide us with the proper way of identity. I know we've just been from the census recently. I don't know how much money we've spent, but we are thinking, how could we have done that without counting people and at high cost when it can be done digitally? When someone is born, added. When someone dies, then we have deducted, and then we can have an inventory of our citizens and be able to have proper management of our economy and the interventions that are being done. So as government, we are on a path of digital transformation. This is a journey we've started. We are growing. We're not just having the potential. We are doing it. And the young people, like those that are at Pamosi Hotel, I heard the MD for MTN is there. It's very true. We're trying to move, and that's why you find many times we were with the Mr. Elias Chipimo and with the Honorable Minister the other time. We are showing that as we come around the table, the young people are also brought on board. And from ITU perspective, the women are part of the winning formula. And this is a whole government approach to ensure the technology cannot be running on its own. We need the small scale, the small medium enterprise. We also need the agriculture. So when we are talking about technology, it's not standalone. We're enabling that which is a whole government approach as provided for in the 8th National Development Plan. I'm glad to have had this opportunity. Now that's the Minister of Technology and Science. He visited Zambia Breweries, Lusaka plant, in order to witness firsthand the operations of the nation's largest brewer. He says that he's glad that Zambia Breweries has the technology and the science and the innovation at the heart of the operations. We are seeing more and more, President for Manufacturing, Zambia Manufacturing Association, we're seeing more and more businesses that are putting at the heart of their operations, do things so that they're more efficient, they do more quality services at a very reduced cost. When they use appropriate technology, we see a very big difference. And we hope that can trickle down to the consumers so that they can have high quality cost and affordable services and products. So the minister says, it is hoped that there will be an example, this is Zambia Breweries, to organization as well as mentor small upcoming businesses on the possibilities and benefits of optimizing technology for business as well as environmental sustainability. I don't want to steal the show because this was supposed to be for the minister. So the main business is the small and medium enterprise. And that's what we are focusing on. We are just enabling the Honorable Minister and his team so that they can perform more efficiently when we use the right and appropriate tools. It's our desire as government that all smallholder farmers of sorghum, we heard also on those that are doing cassava, to utilize this platform. And it is a hope that they may take advantage of this opportunity that has been created. And on part of government outside the speech would say, rural connectivity is very key. We cannot run on 2G. It's not having internet. We need to upgrade those towers. We've been talking about access. We've been talking about affordability. We've been talking about availability, but I think we need to do more utilization. People used to use these services, and so that can impact more to them as we roll out to rural areas. The government, through the Ministry of Technology Science, will continue to promote the use of technology and science for development. This will most certainly drive the local farmers forward. It was with this push, manufacturing will be a mainstay of exports. And we see manufacturing will be helping us in job creation. And manufacturing enabled by technology will be something that the potential will be converted into reality because it's happening in Zambia. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all. And I take this opportunity also to call upon the Honorable Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise. When the President was talking about new ministries, one of the exciting ministries that takes up from those that are startups is the SME ministry. I now ask, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the Honorable Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you and good afternoon. I think you are tired. I'm sorry to come late. You stand and just stretch yourself because I don't want anybody to doze out when I'm chatting. Stress a bit. Just a bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, when you're done, then you can take your seats on your own. Okay. Yeah. This is quite exciting. I need to, say that it's quite exciting. And I'm excited about it. One thing before I get to what I need to talk about is to see you getting into those rural areas, chat with the farmers, technology hitting our small scale farmers in the rural areas. That is one thing I'm happy about. That testimony that we are giving, I would say, it's easy to do the business. And that's why this ministry has also been created to work as a team and make sure that our small scale farmers are part and parcel of the digital world. It's very good. Yes. After the technical part is spoken, now it's a politician. So you see the difference. Lectured. We were there following what you're talking about. Thank you, Director, for that, helping us to understand that Zambia is now moving into another level. As we develop, as we embark into revamping the economy, we can never, ever leave behind technology. So it has to move at the same time. I would like to recognize the presence of the minister who is not here, represented by the director himself, Mr. Makuni, in the Ministry of Technology and Science. The senior government officials present here, officials from the central bank, that is Bank of Zambia. That's very good that you are around. senior executives from the private sector and public sector. The Zambia Manufacturing Association president, it's good to see you here. MTN, good to see you here and for what you're doing in the rural areas. This is good. MTN. The sponsors, the event sponsors, Zambian Breweries, who are also off-taker, because I want to talk about this. This is very good. We aggregate our small farmers, helping them, give them, that passion to grow more and get more confidence in getting into farming. And the new partner, BanQu, the managing director, thank you for being present here. The media, you are extremely important. And I think we've got someone from agriculture. We do, eh? Yeah, thank you so much to be here because I think this is good. We are not working in silos. We work as a team. And that's the way to do it. That's the way you can grow the economy. That's the way you can actually encourage our small and medium businesses when we work as a team. Media, extremely important. We have few here. We want to see what we're talking about here. It must go everywhere. All the corners of this country. It's very, very important media. And we want to appreciate your being present here. Zambia is private sector driven economy. And I'm happy that we've got private sector here. If they are not here, the president himself is here. And you carry this message to the private sector, the business community. It is with great pleasure for me to be here. And it's an honor for me to launch what you are calling blockchain technology. And I want to understand more about this. Where you would want those that are involved in sorghum, farmers who are into cash crop. When I was going through this, at times it's better you listen, then you prepare the speech. Because at times you may not really understand what they're talking about, but when I sat there, this is extremely important for me to stand here as the minister in charge of the small businesses. And farming in Zambia is a business. We appreciate our small scale farmers. Above 90%, is it 95, 6, 7% of the production in terms of farming is coming from the small scale farmers. They are extremely, extremely important and we have to pay much attention. And I'm happy that you could go to Mansa and chat with them and give them encouragement. This is so amazing and it's very good. And that's why MTN, we're happy that you're here. We've always been chatting. We've been talking. Huh? The CDF is here. We want to see you leveraging that. Get in there. See how you can help our smaller business houses in the rural areas. And mostly, I must tell you this, in the rural areas, that's where we are getting more of what we are producing. So we really need to be there and help our people. Indeed, the role of technology, especially in the business, cannot be overemphasized, as it plays a role, very important role in accelerating the country's socio-economic development, aimed at transforming Zambia into a better country. For me, all this simply means digital technology is one of the solutions for financial inclusion, especially among the small and medium businesses. It is a fact that Zambian farmers work hard all year round. These farmers are involved in various cash crops, which includes cassava, sorghum, cotton, maize. However, these farmers have for a long time been facing a lot of challenges, which include access to finance, those in the villages, in the rural areas, who may not even have banks. This is what we're talking about now, that they are able to be included and they are able to receive the monies. You may wish to know that the launch we are witnessing today is a brainchild for Zambian Breweries PLC. Thank you for that. And its partner, BanQu, from the United States. The aim is to make it easier for the local small scale farmers to be able to make profit in their hard work. Government commends the Zambia Breweries PLC for the initiative, as it clearly helping our people across all over the country. It is encouraging to see such collaboration taking place across all sectors, not just in farming, in the sector of farming. Ladies and gentlemen, I am further informed that Zambia Breweries has been helping the people of Zambia through value addition and the local sourcing of raw material that go into making Zambia Breweries quality products such as the Eagle Lager beer. It's coming from our smaller farmers, and I'm happy about this. You behave like an off-taker. For our smaller farmers, the government is happy about this and will give you the support that you require, the support that you need. Other things have been doing, from the year 2017, Zambian breweries have been securing sorghum from about 3,000 households of Southern Province in Gwembe district, somewhere there, and Zimba district is specific. On top of that, Zambian breweries distribute seed to the smaller order farmers, which is very good. That's a partnership that we're talking about, that you can partner with our farmers in the rural areas. The company has invested in training, mentorship, and support among the small scale farmers, especially those involved in cassava and sorghum, which is very good. And through its smart agriculture scheme, Zambian breweries will help facilitate better crop management and sustainable farming with efforts to improve yields while reducing inputs, water shortages, and fertilizer utilization. Further, Zambian Breweries has expanded its reach of the smart agriculture program to impact more local communities with its, cassava and sorghum outgrower schemes. We excited about that. I can go on and talk about other things that they've been doing, in the year 2019 to 2020, about 4,000 tons, was produced. But then in the year 2021, increased from 4,000 to 5,000 metric tons. So this is recommended, and the government will be able to support and continue supporting you. Ladies and gentlemen, this occasion here by today, we are yet again witnessing another partnership arrangement that Zambia Breweries has entered into with. That is a new thing now. The technology. What you have just, arranged together, you've gone in partnership. By developing this platform, imagine through basic SME, BanQu is connecting farmers so that they are skilled, connected, and financially empowered. These activities will in return boost the country's GDP and enhance sustainability. The growth of this economy will be seen very shortly. I am aware that this is part of Zambia Breweries' sustainability goals under the smart agriculture pillar, and through which the company strives to attain 100% of direct farmer are skilled, connected, and financially included. BanQu has, that's what you're adding now. Listen to this. Transparency. Traceable. People are able to, because of this technology, financial inclusion and equity to the Zambian brewery supply chain, which is very good. The goal is to equip small-scale food crop producers in these regions with the skills and technology they will require to build resilience in the face of food insecurity and generate meaningful income as well for their families. This is a clear demonstration of the power that this partnership is bringing. This is in the line with the aspiration of the new Dawn government. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, has been emphasizing working as a team. There is power in numbers. That's why we are the new Dawn, are encouraging public-private partnership in order to achieve meaningful growth of this economy. Initiatives like this, the one that we are launching today, witnessing here today, ultimately lead to competing efforts by this government to grow the economy through creation of empowerment opportunities, and our local suppliers, distributors, those that are involved, we will be empowered. I wish to emphasize the fact that this government remains committed to supporting all efforts aimed at creating an enabling environment for the growth of business in the country. That's why His Excellency, the President, saw it fit to create the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. The sole purpose of the ministry is to promote the development and growth of small and medium businesses. as well as cooperatives across the country in order to create jobs and wealth. The Zambian people, and especially the youth, the women, need more jobs. They need to be empowered. This occasion, therefore, is one of that of bring out the innovative minds within the business space, like the initiative of smart agriculture, which is using technology to improve efficiency, productivity, and drive financial inclusion. As I conclude, I wish to strongly encourage all our entrepreneurs throughout the country take advantage of the existing strong political will in supporting the growth of the businesses in the country. It is my sincere hope that more small-scale farmers will be brought on board on this platform in order to expand those who will benefit from this initiative. With these very few words, I want to say I am excited to be part of this launch and want to see more, learn more initiatives like this to be done in this country. Let me end by saying, some of these things, when you go in the rural areas, let us go and launch these things there in Imansa. I will come, I will be with you. If it means in Gwembe, can we go to Gwembe? We will carry our cameras. And can we go and bring our small scale farmers, the way you are sitting here, let's see if this is now the small scale farmers, the minister, the permanent secretary, and everyone, even the president of manufacturer. He has to be there in Gwembe. Some of the things that we're talking about, can we take it in the rural part of the country? I will come. Other ministers will come. Business houses will be there. And we support our people, because by doing that, they will see that they are part and parcel of what is happening in the country. So next time, if you say, Minister, come to which one is this one here? Which hotel is this? What's the name of the hotel? Ransom Blue. I will say, no, let's go to Mansa. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for that address. Very key issues coming out, but one takeaway there is that it's important to note that government is fully on board with this program, because most of the times we've seen, even in the past, where private companies, organizations will come up with brilliant solutions. But if government is not on board, some of these issues, some of these implementations cannot be done, because government is needed and they're a huge stakeholder in issues to do with agriculture. So it is very, very good to know that government is fully on board, which makes the work of Zambian Breweries and BanQu not to be futile. Just now, we'll now be able to get just a little breather as we get our entertainment crew to come in. And these are the BareFeet people who we saw earlier on before the program started, just to give us an entertainment piece. And after that, we'll be getting into the actual launch of the STT 2022 Sustainability Through Technology, which is the blockchain technology for sorghum small scale farmers. BareFeet.
Help me carry this. Yeah, let me just, yes. This is very good news. Very good news. Very good. Through technology. Through technology. Drummers, please play the drums. Fire. Very true. Yes. In fact, you see, under this same pillar, the company ensures that by the year 2025, 100% of us small-scale farmers, you know what? We are skilled with how to operate these machines. We have the information and knowledge. Number two, we are connected. We are connected so that when we do our agriculture, when we produce our crops, we have where we can sell them. You know, it is also very financial inclusive. You know, so that it also includes us as farmers in the money market.
Yes, and it's not just the money market.
Yes.
It's not just the money market, but it also, it gives you a platform, you too, and these guys, everyone. It gives you a platform where you get to learn on how to operate these machines. Okay. These machines we're talking about, you are not going to get a huge sum of amount you want to people, a lot, to put in the future to work. No, you put machines instead. The machines will water for you. Your farm will be watered with using the machines. You also put the sensors that will monitor the fertility of the land. Not just the land, but also you can put a sensor that will measure the temperature. And it makes it so.
Yes. You are very down.
Very down.
Don't you think that has been lazy? Machine pure laziness.
No. If that is how you define laziness, then you are very much wrong. Because this makes you sure that you have a bumper harvest. One, you are going to produce a lot of crops within a short period of time. Number two, you spend less money because you won't employ a lot of people on your field. Isn't that got us?
And the consistency.
Yes, you're going to be consistent as a farmer with the way you're producing your farm products.
Not only that, my fellow farmers. Okay. You know what? The technology interfaces with other mobile money platforms, such as Airtel, MTN, even Zambian. Listen very carefully. And not only that, let me tell you this. Are you listening? Yes. The blockchain technology. Are you listening? The blockchain technology. It has developed by the BanQu of the United States of America. United States of America. No, not only that, this technology was first introduced in Zambia in 2018. Yes. This is not the first time, guys. It's the cassava outgrow program. Yes.
You know what? I have a very important question. Since you mentioned about the service providers, so you mean first and foremost, you mean that I can transact on mobile money, MTN money?
Yes.
Okay, but again, I have a very important question. You've spoke a lot about machines. What are the benefits? What am I benefiting?
Yes.
Tell me.
Very good. Now listen, Mr. Geoffrey, sir. The benefit is that one of the benefits, it allows people to transact, as you said. You move money from this account to the other account. That means that there's safety, security. Instead of you carrying money in
cashless.
Yes.
Cashless.
Yes, my friend. Yes.
No, okay.
Not only that, you know, one of the benefit again is health. You know, COVID-19 has provided us with so many lessons of a cashless society.
when you start using this technology and you start practicing smart agriculture, it means that you are going to, because it has transparency, so you are going to be able to keep records. So it provides you record, you are able to know, and it is very transparent. So you know when, what time, date, and you did any transaction or sold any farm products. Yes.
One more thing, most important thing, as we all know, we might need the help in terms of cash money. When you want to apply for a loan, instead of keeping those old receipts chewed by the rats, you can just show them the record that you have on the application.
Okay.
Yes.
You know
And not only that, it is also financial inclusive, people.
No, I think we were just joking. You know, we know this information.
You see, they are adding jokes. The problem, the problem of you two is that you've been abusing alcohol too much. You see, you've been abusing alcohol too much, and that is why you haven't been producing a lot of farm products. You see, and my advice to the two of you is that you start practicing smart alcohol drinking. When you start practicing smart drinking, you are going to make. Listen, don't shut up on me. So, as I am saying, if you start practicing smart drinking, you're going to see to it that there is consistency in your agriculture. Therefore, it is going to lead you to smart agriculture. Yes.
And also meaning you will be financially stable. Yes.
Sustainability comes in. Yes.
From today. No, it's his fault. You are not my friend. It's your fault. It's your fault.
Sexy. Wait. Hey.
Very, very powerful performance by BareFeet there. And also, I love the use of art and culture to send the message home. You may be wondering whether we're getting all that information about responsible drinking and, you know, all that information about peer pressure. In case you don't know, Zambian Breweries and BareFeet held a workshop a few days ago just to try and impart knowledge on a very effective as well as creative way of trying to drive the message out there. So that is BareFeet. I saw quite some interesting dances there coming from Director of Corporate Affairs and Legal, Zambian Breweries, as well as BanQu CEO. I want to join the BareFeet team. All right, so we'll now get to the part where we get the minister as well as the high table here to come and do the launch. And then after that, they will take some few pictures right here in the front. There we have the Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises just launching. All right, and it's been done. So the 2022 launch of the blockchain technology for sorghum small-scale farmers has officially been launched. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the partners a hand. So Musika is one of the partners on this project. And I'm going to ask this question. Please explain your role in this partnership and state the benefits accruing to the small-scale farmers because of using blockchain technology such as BanQu. And please introduce yourself so the audience can know. No, you can sit, please, just remain seated.
Thank you. My name is TC Victor from Musika. I'm in charge of the cassava project. And so Musika, as you all may be aware, has co-funding. It's a company not for profit with funding from SIDA, from Sweden. We essentially exist to support the private sector, investment into the smallholder markets, especially into the rural markets. So the BanQu, for us, I think that is very exciting because it meets most of our goals of one, getting the smallholder farmers access markets. And I think one of our goals is to ensure that the small-scale farmers have access to commercial markets. And this platform gives us an opportunity for the smallholders to do that. And then also this platform for us is exciting because then it makes the farmers be identified in their transactions in the value chain that they are working in, especially in cassava. And I think I remember around May 2018, be precise, on the 16th of May, around 10 hours, we headed out into Mansa to meet with the farmers there. We could see the excitement. And the first farmer that signed up on BanQu was a woman. And very exciting. And I think for us, like I said, we pride in farmers connecting with the private sector through systems that are transparent, through systems that give them identity, through systems that connect them into the private sector. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Sika. Now, Zambian Breweries PLC sustainability goals aspires to ensure that by 2025, 100% of direct farmers are skilled, connected, as well as financially included. So in this regard, the launch of the blockchain technology for sorghum small-scale farmers speaks to that vision. So the digital transformation will result in the identification of the small-scale farmers to bring about, dignity, create transactional transparency, and above all, ensure financial inclusion of all previously secluded members of society. We did hear that coming in, from the speakers on the podium. So now we go to the Bank of Zambia. Why do you think that financial inclusion of the smallholder farmers is important for the Zambian economy?
Thank you very much. That is a very important question. Basically, financial inclusion is not an end in itself. We are talking about enabling our citizens to be economically empowered, to be able to put food on their table. So that is the end game for financial inclusion. So we have been talking about access and usage of financial services. Let's talk about the quality as well. That will basically empower our citizens in terms of being financially healthy. If some of you had a chance to look at the FinScope survey of 2020, we had some questions in that survey that was talking to the quality of the financial services that our consumers are consuming. And we had indices for measuring financial healthy. Now, for you to measure financial health, you are looking at a consumer that is able to produce, to have an income, to be able to save. I heard a blockchain enabling asset acquiring and investment. So that is what we are talking about when we talk about financial inclusion. Now, from the Bank of Zambia perspective, we have a public policy a requirement to engender financial inclusion in society. We are also talking gender diversity. I think I heard from the panelists talking about empowering the women. That is a topical issue at the Bank of Zambia. We are also looking at how can the women access finance. And through the blockchain, there is building of credit history. And through that history, everybody will be able to now to be able to access our financial services. So for us as Bank of Zambia, financial inclusion is very, very key. And we are enabling the rural people to be able to get payments through their mobile wallets. And we've been working with stakeholders to implement the national financial switch. Before, consumers were not able to send cross network payments. Now you are able to do that because even if you are MTN, you can send money to Airtel. But in doing that, we also have challenges in terms of agent interoperability. Much as the small scale farmers are able to receive money in their wallets, sometimes they have challenges in terms of cashing out. So what are we looking at? We are also looking at enabling that last mile of the agents to be interoperable so that the consumers, the small scale farmers, are able to cash out without going for long distances to look for agents. Another issue I can talk about is that there is conversation again through the Bank of Zambia with the stakeholders to ensure that there is merchant acquiring in the rural areas. Let's create an ecosystem that should be able to enable consumers to purchase using mobile money as opposed to cashing out. We are talking cash-like society, and that is another key area for the Bank of Zambia. We want to promote that ecosystem that is able to ensure that consumers are able to purchase goods and services using blockchain. Blockchain is a buzzword, sophisticated word for electronic ledger payments. So mobile money is part and parcel of the blockchain we are talking about. Thank you.
All right, before you pass the mic, your name, please, and your portfolio.
My name is Maria Msombo-Katepa. I'm Acting Assistant Director for the Payment Systems Development and Operations Section.
Thank you so much. We'll move on now to MTN. So we did see a presentation early on where you were just talking about your partnership with Zambian Breweries. Tell us exactly what your role is as MTN, as well as how you think it is benefiting these rural-based small-scale farmers. And is there any challenges that you're facing up to this point?
Okay. My name is Eugene Phiri. I'm the head mobile business or mobile money business. This in itself is a demonstration to say previously would look at mobile money to say it's just cash in and cash out. We're also looking at mobile money as supporting corporates, SMEs, and other like stakeholders. So when we talk about this, our relationship with Zambian breweries, I think it stems back from, as far as this project is concerned, it stems from somewhere around 2018. And we partnered basically to make life easy and convenient, firstly, for the farmer, and then also providing support, technical support to Zambian breweries through BanQu to ensure that when they buy the commodity, they are not grappled with the hustle and bustle and the challenges and costs that go with moving money from Lusaka HQ Zambian breweries all the way to Mungwi or Kasama. So our relationship is basically to provide a platform under which Zambian breweries would buy the cassava, sorghum, and any other crop that they are getting and deliver the money at the last mile, as Bank of Zambia puts it, to ensure that they receive the money. Now, that is the relationship that we have with Zambian breweries. We're talking about the benefits that we have been seeing so far. So as a result of that, we put, again, we work closely with the Bank of Zambia. So you might hear that some of the words that we're using are obviously almost shared. When you talk about financial inclusion, one thing that we noticed is that, firstly, it's accessibility. How accessible is mobile money at the last mile? That is something that is very, very important. So we've tried by all means to make sure that money is accessible at the last mile. It is not as easy as we first thought envisaged. So over time, we've come to realize that there are certain things that we have to change in order to fix the solution. So, or find a solution rather. So once Zambian Breweries has paid out to the farmer, they receive their message to say, okay, now I have the money. The next question is accessibility. How do I access the money? Like she says, now we have to find agents. And we're talking about enablement of the agent so that they're able to give out the money to those that want to cash out. But because liquidity can be quite a challenge, so the next thing that we move on to, like she says again, is to make sure that we have an ecosystem where there's no demand or there's little demand for withdrawing that cash. So what do you do instead? We've introduced MomoPay. So MomoPay for us is the response to what you say, where the farmer will receive the money. We ask, where does your money end up? So most of them will say, our money goes to paying school fees. Zambian Breweries makes the payment, they receive the money, they want to pay school fees. How convenient is it for them to pay school fees? We go to the schools, we register school fees for them to pay for the fee, to pay their children's school fees. From there, we want to buy sugar. We want to buy a pint of Mosi. We go to the shop, accept mobile money as a means of payment. So there's a lot. So when we say in terms of benefit, for us, once you sign up or once we sign up all these smallholder farmers on mobile money, it's like we've opened up a whole world of endless opportunities. One of my favorite things on this is that firstly, once you get your money, you're able to access weather index insurance using MTN mobile money, very important for the farmers as we are promoting smart farming. The next one is savings and investments. I know I used to nick a few coins from my grandmother's mattress because she didn't have a bank account. But today, for the smallholder farmer that is growing cassava, they keep their money on the phone. They can invest that money. Okay, there are a lot of platforms. It's a marketplace, mobile money. So for us, you access a lot. And my favorite is that lady who we saw earlier on TV. She's able to buy shares on the Lusaka Stock Exchange in whatever organization that is listed, provided she has great education and awareness. So again, goes back to what Bank of Zambia is talking about. Not only do you have access to finances or you are financially included. The question is, are you accessing the quality services? Are you accessing quality mobile money? Yes or no? So we strive to make sure that we educate and enlighten these people so that there's much usage. And the last one, you talk about the challenges. I think for me, the one that is quite big for us right now, And we're already responding to that, is the technology. And technology for me means network. How available are we? So I'm glad that we are putting in money, government is putting in money to make sure that the rural farmer come 2025, 2026 is not going to be the same again.
All right.
And we stand ready to support both government, the private players, and the end beneficiary at the last mile.
Amazing stuff by MTN there. All right. So now the reason we're here today is because of the relationship that is there between Zambian Breweries and BanQu. So I'm coming now to Zambian Breweries, and I'll be starting with you, the agriculture manager, Chris Nicole. What are your long-term aspirations of using blockchain technology in your operations? And could you share some of the challenges and successes you've faced in this journey?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. Our long-term goal is, like we said, 100% of our farmers must have the skills, must have the financial empowerment, and must be connected to provide a long-term supplier. We, as a brewing business, have been doing beer for 150 years, AB InBev, and we want to do the next 150 years. And to do that, we need a farmer who can farm his fields for 150 years and beyond, because it's not 150 years, it's beyond that. To do that, we realize that they need to have the skills for climate smart, for sustainable agricultural production, but they also need the financial empowerment to be able to access different items. So our long-term view is just huge. We want to take these farmers that we've already got, and we want to take them on a road with us to be sustainable, long-term businesses. So that's our high-end goal. But firstly, one of the main things I really want to talk about is this man and BanQu on my right. Without their passion, without the skill and the commitment BanQu have given us, we wouldn't be here today. They have come 4.5 years ago, and he sat down with the mamas and talked and asked a lot of questions. And within a couple of months, we had a payment process on the table. So when I look at us as a stakeholders, guys, these guys have delivered for us every step of the way. We have been multiple problems, and the team out there, I call them, this is a problem, can we fix this? We've got a new dream. We want to empower a smallholder business that aggregates. They sit down, they come back, they say, Chris, here you go. You can buy, your aggregator can pick up all the bags of sorghum, they can come and deliver, the aggregator gets his commission. These guys are incredible. So I really have to call out BanQu. The road they've taken us down is phenomenal. And they've given us a tool that now we can map our farmers. We know who they are. We can go and see their development. Right. We're building them a digital CV so that their skill base can be seen by the banks, by MTN. People who want to lend money will be able to come along and say, that farmer has been trained in climate smart farming. That farmer has had training in financial empowerment and is part of a community. So our dreams and our goals are huge, but again, the blockchain technology of BanQu is what's really empowered us to get there.
All right, and now to sort of sum up the discussion, we'll be moving to Mr. Mapalo Gadnis. If you're wondering who that is, he's right next to me. He was just telling me earlier on that he's been coming to Zambia as far back as 2018, 2019, such that, and he's been in Mansa. So the locals there, the farmers have given him a local name. His name, Ashish, he tells me, means blessings. And in Bemba, blessings is Mapalo. So he allowed me to call him that, by the way. So Mr. Mapalo Gadnis, tell us your long-term aspirations of working using blockchain technology, as well as the relationship that you have with Zambian Breweries. What are your long-term aspirations?
First of all, thank you. Super blessed to be here, and just very, very humble. Chris is amazing. I've learned a lot about not just Zambia, but just farming and farmers through Chris and Namba. I don't know where she is, but I think so for us, the long-term vision is pretty straightforward. There's today in the world, there's at least 1 billion people who live in extreme poverty. And at least 50% of those billion people are smallholder farmers. And so our dream is to enable 100 million people out of extreme poverty, which means at least 50 million of them are going to be smallholder farmers. And so the dream is pretty straightforward. We are a software company. We are a for-profit, for-purpose company, but our dream is to enable 100 million people out of poverty.
Wow.
So that's pretty straightforward. I think the dream with Zambia Breweries long-term, which we have now, 4.5 years is definitely long-term. We're married, if we may, is pretty straightforward, is to be able to look back 15, 20 years from now, when Chris and I are both retired, and be able to go back to Mansa and see a student in college whose mother was a cassava farmer that will never remember us, but will be able to give a college education to her children because of sorghum or cassava farming. That's, I think, the joint dream.
Right. And in terms of successes, of course, we've seen the stories that have been told. We've seen the video that Zambian Breweries played, in terms of your relationship and how far you've come. You told us yourself that you've registered over 10,000 farmers on your system. What are some of the challenges that you've faced in this journey?
I think I would say, honestly, the three big challenges that we have faced, and as Chris said, we've seen pretty much every challenge possible in the last 4.5 years, is number one is a lot of people assume smallholder farmers are not literate. Right. That is not true. If you go to Mansa, you will meet incredibly intelligent and literate mama farmers, right? And I think that is kind of a one challenge that when we tell people that a smallholder farmer is on BanQu, is using an SMS phone, is banked, is using MTN, people like, wait a minute, you're telling all these poor people about blockchain. How are they going to understand, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the challenge is not with the farmer. Its challenge is with everybody else who thinks farmers are not intelligent. So that's number one, right? I think number two challenge is the one that we heard today is the rats eat the money. Right. Oh, wow. And these are not real rats, right? This is when the money gets stolen, right? I mean, if you remember 4.5 years ago, Eugene, you were there. Is that the mobile money empowerment of a woman farmer is incredible. You have to see it to believe it. Men too, don't get me wrong, right? But I'm a big believer that women are wiser and smarter than men.
I agree with you,
okay,
totally.
Good. All right,
yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. The men, if you disagree, you can leave now. But I think the challenge is people assume that a mama farmer shouldn't be bankable, right? And that's a wrong assumption. And I'm here to say you should break that, right? And then the third one, which I think is a big challenge, is that there is a supply chain that companies like Zambia Breweries understand. And my hope is other companies do, right? Mm-hmm. So, just to end this, it's a smallholder farmer to a cooperative to an aggregator to a transporter to a brewery or a factory or whatever, right? And I think the challenge is that companies need to really take the time to understand that the supply chain doesn't end at the aggregator level. It goes all the way to the farmer. And if you do not have the courage to want to know who your farmer is, you will never empower your Zambian farmers.
Wow, very profound. Thank you so much. We're now moving the conversation to the audience. If you have got any questions, contributions, as well as clarifications on what the panelists have been saying in the last few minutes, please feel free and we'll come to you and you can put in your contribution. Wenson, the microphone, please.
Oh, here, I can get it to you. No, I got it. Yeah. Please.
Hey, everyone. My name is Kyle. I work with small-scale farmers across 4 provinces in Zambia to produce sustainable honey. So my question to kind of BanQu would be, how can you implement this system when a company like ours doesn't have the financial capacity that a company like Zambia Breweries does? Like, are these things affordable for a small scale company versus, a large multinational?
I can answer that. I think it has nothing to do with the multinational or not, right? So I mean, we started with 300 farmers
on the Zambia-Congo border 4.5 years ago. I mean, it was tiny, tiny, tiny. So it wasn't cost, for example, right? I'm working with, like 20 vanilla bean farmers, right? So it's not got to do with how big or small company you are. The financial piece, right? And the affordability that you're bringing is less in terms of your affordability. The question is, do you have the ability to ensure that your supply chain can be mapped, number one? And number two, if you're at the honeybee farmer level or a cotton farmer level or a guar farmer level, because we work in 58 countries, so we know crops, is that are you willing to provide incentives in that supply chain? It had nothing to do with how big or small you are, right? You could be buying from 40 honeybee farmers, right? Or I don't know, beekeepers, sorry. Then you're not going to spend a ton of money. What you are going to have to spend is a ton of time and commitment. Okay. And then the challenge that I would ask you, right, is, and again, this is not a debate, but I'd ask you how committed you are to provide traceability and transparency. You are, but how committed you are to provide equitability, where your honeybee keeper or farmer can now, through something like a BanQu blockchain, prove that they exist, right? Because at the end of the day, this is not as much about Zambia Breweries, it's equally about the farmer, right? So for example, in Ecuador, same example, we have smallholder farmers, same example, except we are now tracing it to a bottle of beer. So if you scan a QR code, it will actually show you who is the mama farmer, how much rice, maize, and wheat went into that. And it's 300 farmers. I hope I answered your question.
All right, can we have a final comment if we have anybody from the audience or from the panel as we close up the discussion? We have somebody else? Okay, so Eugene wants to react to, all right.
Let me just take advantage when you talk about costs and so on and so forth. So there are different types of models. Obviously, BanQu are looking at something that is quite large. And then when you shop around, you find that there are certain solutions that are made for a business like yours. And I'm not saying try MTN. I'm not saying that. As I indicated, so we now have to scale up and find out where you are. Thankfully, the Ministry of Technology is around. We are also going a step further to say, once you tell us where your coordinates, tell us where you are. Lusaka is saturated. Trust me, there's only 150 kwacha in Lusaka and everybody's fighting for it. The money is where you are found. So when you tell us where you are, the technology will find you. Trust me.
Plus, you have to be, sorry, quickly, this is one, you have to be agnostic in the sense, I mean, there are areas where, MTN, no, there's no coverage, right? But we are connected to Airtel, we're connected to Zamtel, right? In fact, there are very remote areas where you do an offline transaction and then so it's less about connectivity, right? It's how much of that equitability do you want your farmers to have?
Right, final comment from Sika?
Thank you. And I think one of the things that happens when the private sector begins to connect with a small scale is that there's a lot of risks that are involved in doing business. And I think what we do as Musika is to buy down some of those initial risks. And I think all of you, except Bank of Zambia and us, you are for profit. We are not for profit, but our return on investment is how you connect with a farmer. But there are risks in you investing in this with a small scale farmers there. So we come in to buy down those risks there, the initial risks as you invest, because our interest is that the farmer is connected. And I think that we've supported Zambia Breweries to do some of those risks where we know for Zambia Breweries to reach out to the farmer in Mansa, they will need mobility. So we come in to support them on that side. And then also we support them in terms of engaging or making meetings with the farmers, the initial meetings, and then they pick it up. We play a role, like in Zambia, we would say a shibukombe, when two people want to get married. So here is Zambia Breweries or MTN that wants to marry the small scale farmers, and then you don't go alone. So you find a go-between, and we are. And then the go-between provides some of the initial risks that are involved. And this is what we've done. And we're excited about this partnership. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I've been tasked with a bit of wrapping up this session. Again, a huge thanks to BanQu and to our partnership also with Musika. But I think I also wanted to say that today's conference was really to be with our stakeholders, to really try and encourage other people within the industry that this road we started 4.5 years ago has given us an unbelievable ability to map our farmers. And the benefits are going to be with those farmers. It's not just ourselves. We could have stuck in Lusaka, but no, we're going out there and we're meeting our smallholder farmers and we're bringing benefits to communities. We're building better lives. I also want to really try and encourage our friends from government. We ask you, please come and join us when we go to the farms. We will be doing it again soon. We have sessions planned in our sorghum areas where we have partnerships with World Food Program and SLIC, and we're going to go be sitting with those communities, hosting a much more opening to this session with the sorghum farmers and BanQu. And we do invite you from our partnerships to come and see the farmers and get some first-hand experience. But again, I just really want to say thank you very much to everybody, and especially to BanQu and Ashish for coming all this way, CEO of BanQu. It's not often you get to sit with this man, but if you ever do, he's going to ask you a lot of questions, but he's also going to give you a lot of love, and it's a fantastic opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to the panelists, Bank of Zambia, MTN, Musika, Zambian Breweries, and BanQu. This is where we come to the end of the program, and I would like, on behalf of Zambian Breweries and BanQu, I would like to thank everybody for coming here and for staying this long to just sort of get a feel of how this blockchain technology is going to work. I hope next year or even after next year, we can come back to this place and celebrate milestones of registering even up to 1 million farmers who are in the rural parts of this country.
Again, I would like to request you to just put your hands together for Zambian Breweries. The second one would be for the panelists and the partners. And now the last one is for yourself. Yes, you just have to clap yourself because you've been a very good audience, very engaging.
Yep.
You've stayed here the whole day. You haven't showed any signs of being tired. Someone is arguing. I like her honesty. But anyway, the bottom line is you've been a great audience. And, you know, Mr. Ezekiel and the rest of the team, please, next time we have a meeting, bring these, okay? Even if it has nothing to do with them, just bring them. Because they're such a good audience.
Very good audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end, please don't forget there's still snacks for you outside, and there's some drinks outside. So we would like you to partake and enjoy yourselves. My name is Wenson Mavoro.
And my name is Francesca Phiri Banda. Thank you so much. And also thank you to those who joined us via Zoom. Have a great evening.